One, going live now. Hello and welcome. And this is the April 2022 Chicago TI Users Group meeting and video. Coming to April 9th, right on the second Saturday rather than the first. We had to reschedule due to scheduling conflicts. Today, we have myself, Jim Mazurek, and our General Equipment Chairman, Vic Stirrup, who will be giving us a presentation today. And I guess I will also mention that there is a date set for the Chicago International TI Fair. And that's going to be, I believe, the last Saturday in October, which I believe is October 29th. Check that. Yeah, October 29th, and that will be once again at the Evanston Township Library main branch in Evanston, Illinois. And we'll hopefully we'll see quite a few people there this year. Hopefully we'll have less restrictions in place and people will be able to travel and come and see one another again and show what they've been working on the last 2 or so years. Vic, do you have anything to say before you get into your demos for the day?
Yes, people have finally gotten back in touch with Barry Harmson from the Netherlands, who was taken ill a couple of years ago with some medical issues, and it's debatable if he's going to be able to actually make it to any fair from now on. But it was nice hearing from him again, and he is always so enthusiastic every time I've seen him. He's been great. So let's people send in their wishes to him. This Saturday's episode, I've got a list of things to run through, and one is on the Italian user group. There's been some discussion about disk cataloging, where a person who's new to the system had asked, how do you catalog a floppy disk? And this might seem to be a rather simple thing to do, but we're so used to having, disk managers on cartridge. We got a dozen of them, disk managers on disk, but the basic console really doesn't have a disk manager built in.
Yeah, I noticed that early on when I started tinkering with the TI-99 4A that there was not an easy way to get a disk catalog straight from console basic.
Well, there actually is. And there's this basic program called Catalog that was written, I believe, by Texas Instruments back in '78. So I'll list this. And
so this is sort of common practice to say the catalog program is sort of your...
You save the catalog program. Look at that, 35 lines. I'll list it again.
Right, to store a copy of a catalog program of some sort, usually the smaller the better, right?
Well, if you've got a disk drive, you could, I'll leave this on the screen for a few moments. You could type this in and save it on one disk. And boy, once you got it on one disk or even a cassette tape, you could load it and catalog your disks. It's not that long.
Right.
Okay, now let's list.
The command to load it into memory and execute it is pretty
and
short
this runs
well.
in BASIC. The late Barry Traver had a series in his disk zine called RAW, which stood for Read and Write. And he showed how you could do this kind of direct disk access right from BASIC. modifying files, renaming them, deleting. I think that's sort of dangerous to do from a disk cataloger on deleting a file. But anyway, I'll leave this up for a few moments here. So anybody who's watching this can type this in. Okay, because you can also freeze the video.
What actual? I didn't quite take a look at that closely. What disk function is it actually calling to actually read the directory catalog?
Well, you call clear,
Right.
dimension type string 5, type string number 1 is disfix, 2 is disvar, 3 is internal fixed, 4 is internal var, 5 is program.
Dimensioning array, and it's adding a string array, and it's basically giving you verbose or more verbose representations of the file type based on the number that it returns.
Now in program, it can't tell the difference between basic, extended, basic, EA.
Right, it's some binary.
Yeah. However, for somebody who's just getting started going, how do I find out what's on a disk? I hope this will be of value to them. So let's go.
And the other thing that's kind of interesting to know too, that in the case of a lot of programs on the TI-99, sometimes it's handy to have a printed listing that tells you what is required to run it, because some things require the extended basic cartridge, some require the editor assembler cartridge.
And for any kind of text file like a line 130 type 2 DV display variable, usually it's DV80 is a text file, and I've got a ton of disks, especially like the Chicago library. They have a catalog, a file called catalog. It's DV80, where it describes exactly what you're talking about, what kind of file it is, and how to run it. So let's list some more here. Sure. Input your master disk 1 to 3. Okay, and it'll be variable A. A equals integer A.
Right, because it's going to be an integer, right?
Well, these...
You're not going to have disk 1.5.
Yeah, but these lines sort of messed me up. I experimented with my RAM disk on my P box, and of course you got to rewrite these lines to accept alphabet letters like A, B, C. Okay, if A is less than 1, then go to 170. If A is greater than 3, then 170. Okay, there's your error trapping.
Right.
Very few people are going to have 4 disk drives, but this could be modified for that. Okay, here's the meat of it. Open number 1. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, so it's essentially opening the disk for...
Opens
input.
A disk, and then it adds whatever your A string was, 1, 2, or 3.
Right, it's basically concatenating strings so that you have the disk and the number.
And then input relative internal.
Right.
Okay, input number 1, A string, J, J, and K, those variables.
Right.
Display disk plus the string number you had.
Right.
As disk name. Oh, and your disk name available and used.
Right.
Display the file name, the size. Right. This is just a header for the top.
Display.
And you can only have 127 files on a floppy anyway for a TI. You can't have more than that.
So it's going to walk through every file directory record, every catalog record then.
Yeah. If it's a blank disk, then it pops you out. Okay, display A string, tab 12J. This sets up your display on the screen.
Yeah, it looks like it's looking for the first null catalog entry, and if it doesn't find any data in it, it assumes it's a blank disk, or exits if it's the last item.
B
So it
string
doesn't have to
equals
necessarily walk through
blank.
all 27
Hmm.
catalog entries.
That's close number 1.
Yeah, so it's not doing anything terribly complex. It's just opening the disk as if it were a file for read,
Yeah.
and it's reading.
But when I
data
first got my TI and I got a P box, I don't know if I had a disk manager cartridge or something. I was going nuts trying to figure out
what was
what.
on the disk.
Yeah. So let's run this. Remember, we're in BASIC right now. This isn't extended BASIC or
Right,
EA.
it's console basic. There isn't much in the way of any sort of extended input output other than what is provided by the standard basic, the disk memory system attached to it, right?
Also, apparently no way to really pause this. They don't have a pause built into the program. So the top rolled off the top of the screen. Let's run it again.
The basic interpreter, the basic console doesn't provide any sort of X on, X off pausing or anything
Okay.
like that.
So you see how it's set up: master disk, your disk name,
Right.
your disk 1, available, used. Now that available and used might look weird, but remember we're working with the nano PEB, and that's the size of the disk you've got to work with on a nano.
Yeah.
So you get to cheat. The only danger is putting so much on that disk, you go to copy this file onto a regular TI to a regular floppy, and it ain't going to fit.
Make some coffee while lists out after you find the entry you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. So you see, okay, 40 col is a DF80. 40 column doc is a DV80. Now, I haven't seen a text file reader in BASIC. The closest one I can find is, I think it's, oh gosh, I can't remember who it is, but Ken Gilliland used it on his Disk Of series as a text file reader. And you could change the font, you could change the color, you could scroll forward, backward. It was a real nice text file reader.
Mm-hmm.
So we have DiskCat. Oh, there you go. DiskCat, the 6th item down, is a DV80 file. And you've got a README there, the 3rd from the bottom. Okay. So I went back to the Italian user group Facebook page, and I can't find that thread. I don't know if the person who posted it deleted it or what. And let's do 3 here. And these are the 3 disks that you can see by the name, volume number 1 Nano. This is all my utilities for the Nano PB. I put it on disk 3 because few TI programs tried to do anything off of that.
Right.
So that's it. So getting into disk catalogers, we have, I'll have to get into RXB. It's my favorite OS here. Option H. And 2021 seems to work. We'll select the period, editor assembler, and then D for directory. And Rich tells me I don't have to type in disk 1, 2, 3 or ABC, just the last item. Press that, press enter. And we got archiver, we got boot, we got catalog. So we can go down to...
so does that imply that it's going to basically search any disk for that substring?
Yeah, it's going to look for DSK. I imagine if I had a HFDC or a
Right, it'll
TIPI.
basically walk through and see if
Yeah.
there's a mounted disc.
Okay, this V cataloger, I forgot what it was. This looks for, this is actually accessing the nano PEB file. So I asked for volume 100, and let's do a listing. Oh, so this is my modification of that catalog program we just did, except I'm having it, you notice line 200, PokeEV. It's where it's looking at the nano PEB files directly. Let's look at volume 2. There, and you see that CHI0002 is the volume name, or is the disk name on the nano PEB. And so this is the second disk in the Chicago library. So if we exit this, go to RXB, go to disk number 3 for any key, disk 3 load. This gets us into the nano PEB, or it was called the CF7 Plus manager. So we can look at number 2 file utilities, 1 catalog, volume 2, press enter. There it is. There's the same thing. So that I actually was able to rewrite that old catalog program to access the compact flash directly without having to get into the compact flash cataloging program like this. And if we go back, we can do a number 6. This is all the utilities though. Catalog, backup, erase, rename, format, list. We're going to do a 6 here in list. Okay, number 1 is blank. I accidentally deleted that. But you see you have CHI0002. That's disk number 2 from the Chicago library. If I do Control and X, go down a page. And this is like, it goes to what, 125 in the Chicago library. Yeah, some of these disks, like 161, have a name because that's required for one of the programs on the disk to run. To where you run a load program and it looks for a disk of that specific name. So I wasn't able to get a perfectly numerical.
Yeah, I seem to recall that you can reference files by volume name as well.
Yeah, like multi-plan. You put the cartridge in, it looks for a disk and drive 1 called multi. And there's a couple others like this. But getting down here is like 236 or 235 is a backup of the volume number 1 that came with my Nano. And the rest of these are the original 35 disks that came with my compact flash Nano PEB on the software that was provided with it. There's been a little discussion online of where can I get all these .bin files and which ones are the best to have. And I got a story about that. But yeah, you see how this goes all through arcade games. I think volume 30 there is the last one. Yeah, those are blanks. No, Mirage 289 I think is the last one that came with my compact flash. The CF card is like a 1 gig, and it's got 1,200 files on it. So you can put that many floppy disks, virtual floppy disks, on 1 gig of a compact flash. Okay, these were from the another collection. Yeah, this one collection that just about every disk had the same name. So unless I actually go through here and run each disk and find out what's on it, Can't really tell from the disc name. And I intentionally put blank discs in between certain collections to give me some breathing room in case if I find another disc. And so when I do this kind of a catalog, I know where the end of one library is and where another one starts. Okay, disc 506. All right, I'm going to quit this. Hang on a second here. Going to remove the virtual disk that's in drive 1. And put that disk 506 in there. Now we're doing a catalog here in RXB, which I like. That's why I like RXB, because it's so simple to do it. I'll show you how to do it in other. This is LoadMaster, and the idea of LoadMaster when it came out was it would catalog a disk and then put an automatic running program on it. It would catalog your disk, figure out what the different files were, and then write itself to the disk as a catalog program. So I see we got DV80 files here. We're going to go back here. And device, we're going to go to device 3. This is my utilities disk. Okay, we're going to step down to boot. Now boot is nice. Press enter because it's an EA program. And this is another way of cataloging the disk. You can do this from Extended Basic. There's a load program that comes with boot. You load the load program and then it runs this EA5 file. So here we can do a directory, disk 1, and here it's the same thing. But now we have an additional menu at the bottom of the screen to go back, run an Extended Basic, run an EA, V to view. We want to view what this disk info says, and then press enter. So disk info, there it's, this is a little crowded. Since we're in boot, we can press W to go to 80 column mode if you have an F18 or other 80 column device.
I probably need better glasses at this point.
It crowds it a bit, but here let's do it.
I understand.
Okay, so here you've got a nice clean display where it says disk info is text, and here's your catalog. Basic or extended basic program, defaults, run program file like disk master, the docs, editor assembler, Xmas songs. Let's press W again. Yeah, so if you got a big enough monitor, it's sharp enough, you can go to 80 column. And here's what it looks like in 40. You can see you got some word wrap on this. It gets a little confusing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so we're going to quit this. We're going to do a directory of disk 3 again, where I have my utilities. So you got archiver, you got boot, you got this catalog program up here is the basic only catalog program we saw before. Compact Flash Manager, Disk Manager 2K, and here's a handy program, Identifile. This is an editor assembler file by Mike Dodd. Okay, You can catalog a disk, you can configure the program or exit it. I'm going to press 2 to configure it. Now you can tell it what drives to look for. So you can go up to disk 9, because with the MyArc HFDC, you can have extra disks that the TI does not normally allow. You can also have, if you look at the bottom of the box, WDS1, 2, and 3. You can have 3 hard drives.
Yeah.
So you can change your printer name, you can change your foreground color, the background color. White on dark blue seems to be the most visible color available. So we'll go back. We'll catalog a disk. We'll catalog disk 1. Okay. So here's the display. Now, the thing with Identifile that I didn't notice for the longest time, because I had a TIM, a TI image maker, 80 column device, is this screen would automatically go to 80 column. And I never noticed it because it did it so smoothly. And I was using Funnel Web in 80 column too, with the disk review and the text editor. And so anyway, here we got the same thing. Disk info, 6 sector, DV80, and then the screen wraps on that top line to the second line. That word text would actually be off on the right. So let's exit that. Back to my utilities. Now, normally you wouldn't think of using Archiver as a disk cataloging program, but this is, I think, this was the latest version, 4.0G by Tim Tesh. Here, you have option number 3, catalog a disk. Source drive 1. You can print it out from here if you got a printer set up. We'll go for no for now. And there you go. So this is yet another way, but you need an editor assembler to load Archiver. Those are your files and your total size. Now, actually, go reset the final GROM. A long time ago, I had gotten a cartridge called Super Extended Basic. Let me see if I can find it on here. Well, Super Disk Manager, but no. I usually get everything set up before this and write down where everything is at. No, okay, can't easily find it.
Well, I guess Super Extended Basic will wait. We'll have to wait for another day.
Yeah, it's not like I still have the cartridge and I can just plug it in to demonstrate it, because I considered it superfluous. And when somebody said that they needed it, I sold it to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Hacks, Homebrew, MBX. All right. Well, there was also a, let's try doing this from RXB. Maybe I can simulate it in RXB. So I'm going to select H And I'm going to go with B, an old version of it. Okay. So if you type in this command in Super Extended Basic, you can catalog a disk. That was one of the selling points of it. Oh, and there you go. So SXB, Super Extended Basic, does it, and I just simulated that in RXB because Rich uses the same routine. Call the EA functions of RXB, do a directory of disk number 3. It's not really what I was trying to do. See, in RXB, you press the space bar to load an extended basic program, and you press the enter key if it's an EA program. So you have to know the difference between the two things labeled program.
Right.
Disk Manager 2000 by Fred Call came out quite a while ago. What, 2012? Gosh, hard to believe it was that long ago. And this is a super disk manager that I am most unfamiliar with. So I'm not going to try to demonstrate this.
Yeah, a lot of hotkey support, so there's a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, and so DM2000 is an excellent disk manager. Diagnostic tests, deepened attack. Well, let's digress for a minute. In diagnostic tests here, if this works. No? Okay. I'm going to go waste time on it. Thought I had a copy of DM1000 set up here. But apparently not. Okay. So anyway, people had asked, where do I get .bin files from my final GROM? And this menu might look a little confusing, but I have accumulated bin files from a variety of sources online. So going from the top here, this 2021IU, we'll select that. And this is one I put together from in 2021 of stuff I had found online. Aardvark, Barrage, Battlestar, Boogaboo. Sometimes these games have two different file names, but the name that shows up on this screen can be different from the PC-based file name that you have. In your upper left corner, you can see that this is page 1 of 2. The comma brings you back a screen. The period sends you forward. So I'll press the period, and this is page 2 of 2. So this is all the stuff that I had found in 2001 or 2021, and pressing A takes you back to the root level. Now B here, this is quite a comprehensive collection. Mr. Bittori of the Italian user group had announced in 2016 that he had a whole bunch of these bin files. And apparently they're set up for emulators. They don't all work on the final GROM, but that's okay. So we have B for demo. And you've got Asteroid, the demonstration, Parsec, Poison Prison, Sprite, Starfield. Okay, these ones below, you go like, what's a Commodore 64 sim? You know, well, let's press it and find out. Oh, that simulates the screen of a Commodore 64.
Just the screen, or does it actually, will it actually interpret Commodore Basic 2.0?
No, it doesn't. It just shows you this screen. It
Okay.
simulates what the screen would look for. So we'll press the blue button on the final gram, and if you just select the next screen, here, it's loaded that as a cartridge. So the blue button, take you back to the title screen, and the red button resets the final gram. There's a Matrix reference in here somewhere that... there.
Oh, just as a side note, Robert Carmody mentioned that the current version of Disk Manager 2000 is 3.4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what you had up on the screen on your machine.
Okay. So these are all, most of these are pretty much just screens that show something as an example. Like letter D, Fuel of Parsec, shows a different kind of display that's possible for Parsec. Like the colorful ones on the bottom. Like, oh, you're getting low on fuel where it goes green, yellow, red. So it says, hello everyone at Yahoo. Above you see the original fuel of Parsec, and below are a few proposals for a new tribute to Parsec. Let me hear what you think. The colors for the proposals look best in Win 99.4a. The colors of Classic 99 are very similar to those of MES. Also, this present font could be used on intervening screens between levels when loading from disk as proposed by Mark. So this is just a demonstration. We'll reset it. Go back to B Bittori, B for demo. And Phase Fingertips, Font Sets, Galaga, Heartbreak Today. A lot of these are just demonstrations of various screens. And they're not actual running programs. Some are. But here we're going to go back to the level. Okay, C, disk utilities. Okay. These programs are set up for Classic 99, where you can have a much longer name than the final gram will accept. And that's why we got all these goofy ones. Disk Assembler, Disk Master, Disco, Disk Review. I'm looking for, let's try F. Disk Manager 1000, that's what I was looking for. Okay, cart conversion by Terci. Okay, here's our old friend Disk Manager 1000. And you can do a child, change the name, repeat. No, let's go back. No, I don't want to do that. Let's quit. Doesn't say what version of DM1000 this is. Let's go to 2. Here we go. Catalog, number 1, and there we go. That was a quick catalog of the Loadmaster disk in drive 1. So you got all your disk utilities here. Catalog, copy, sweep it. Sweep lets you cheat. It just erases the table of contents on the disk. All the files are still there, but it's a lot quicker than doing a number 5 initialize. And 6, if you got a box of floppies, it'll just ask for the next disk when you go to floppy it. We'll quit this right now. Reset the final gram. Going back to B for Bittori, C for disk utilities, Max RLE Plus, the Phoenix, the Q99 Quick Super C Track Hack, a lot of advanced utilities. I'm not going to go into what all these disk utility managers do, because the one gentleman's question was pretty much, I got basic, how do I catalog a disk?
Yeah.
So here we get into option D on Bittori, Educate. You've got your edition, Alien Edition, Alligator Mix, Beginning Grammar, Demolition Division, Early Learning Fun. Again, it's a little vexing. I don't have the tech to go into these files and rename wherever this header is on those bin files on my PC. But I'm sure if you load this into Classic 99 or any of the other emulators, it'll be fun. Stuff there like Q, R, and S are Millikan, and they traditionally don't have a title screen. They just automatically start. So you got numbers. Oh, you got Peter Pan. That's an exploration of the solar system. Now, R and S, Plato, they're not going to run if you select them with the final gram, because they need a 6th gram to load. In other words, a supercard, an editor assembler with an extra 8K of memory. So we'll go to the next screen. Plato, Pyramid, Reading, Scholastic, Space, Spanish, Speed Reading. Option H here, Von Drake. This was another one of the, let's try B, see if this works. It was another one of the Disney Productions cartridges for teaching chemistry. So in this, you get to be forming. You get to play Professor Ludwig von Drake, and you get to read formulas up here and read chemistry problems. You can either read a formula or make chemical compounds. So again, we're just at letter B here of these various libraries that I've got. So we'll go to like F for games 2, indoor soccer, Jawbreaker, Jumpy, Jungle, Junkman. Junkman's a fun game. It's a platformer you really stretch a lot. Mancala, it's one of the oldest games of the world. I believe this is from Africa. It's done by digging a series of pits in the dirt, and you start out with stones, and you basically try to outfox your opponent by going around in a circle, picking up stones and dropping them in the pits. And this doesn't work, which is no hardship because there's so much on here. Like I said, it probably works fine in an emulator. So go back to games 2, Milton Bradley games, Meteor Multiplication, The Moon Mine, Munchman, Newton Nibbler, Orb, Othello, Pac-Man. Here you got, looks like another. Oh, this is another Disney Productions game. This is a grammar game. Short vowel sounds, long vowel sounds. Go with beginner.
Jiminy, why
That's nice. It makes use of the voice synthesis.
Yeah. Joystick.
Good work. Jiminy, find the word with a short E sound, as in bed. Good work. Jiminy,
So-
find the word with a short O sound, as in pub.
Come on.
I'm almost there. Jiminy, find the word with a short O sound, as in pub. Good work.
If Jiminy pokes the rat, he loses a point.
Short U sound, as in gum. You only need one more. Jiminy, find the word with a short E sound, as in bed. You did it.
So Jiminy builds a stairway
Yippee, I'm free.
to rescue Pinocchio. So that works fine. So again, going through B for Bittori, that was Educate, that was Games 2. Let's go to G for Graphics. You got Graphic Editor. Okay. I mean, some of these I haven't even gone through. They just came on the collection and was quite extensive. Here's
Yeah,
L.
that is sort of the nature of it, right? You collect everything, and
Mhm.
who has the time to actually try everything in the collection?
Okay. Utilities, this is a class data recorder. C. Oh, database manager. Okay. D. Encode it. E. Editor assembler and maximem. F. NBC bill. Mystery to me. H. OS 99. So we'll just go back. I. Management. B. 99 Home Century. C. Accounting assistant. D. Activity accountant. E. Attendance recorder. Okay, so if you're working at a school, you could use that. J. Your homework helper. We've done a review on that at the one of these meetings before. K. Household budget management.
Richard Gilbertson is wondering if we have downloaded RXB 2022 as of yet.
No, I was lucky enough to get 2021. I'm sorry, Richard. Personal record keeping. Home finance. Believe it or not, my wife-to-be and I use this program to figure out if we could afford to buy a house. And I printed out 30 years of mortgage payments, where it was nice, where it said, how much do you owe on principal versus how much are you paying on interest. And as you know, with the rule of eights mortgage you get on a house, your first month, you're paying over 90% on interest and very little on the actual principal.
Mm-hmm.
So where if you can do the dodge of paying more than your monthly payment on a mortgage, and specifically having the mortgage holder apply the extra to the principal, you can pay off your mortgage a lot quicker. So here we go on B for Bittori again. That was management. J for modem. Terminal emulator. People are getting back into using the TI for telecommunications. K for music. Axel F. Axel F. I'm sure everybody's familiar with that one. It plays the music soundtrack to oh heck, I'll just run it. I can't remember the name of the movie now.
Is that Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah. This takes. Yeah, there it goes. This shows off a lot of tricks you can do with the music on the TI. Short notes, the fades, things like that, sounds. Funny how that got turned into a cartridge, because I only remember that as a program. So then you've got C for music maker. Oh, funny how microsurgeon showed up here. Must be because it's in alphabetical order. And traditional mode. And you've got your musical score. You can control. You should be able to control this on-screen cursor. Oh, there we go. Joystick number 2. And pick up whatever note you want. And place it where you want it. So L for other. B, class data recorder. C, DBM, database manager. D, encoded. J. Peter Hottie. E, maximem. G, Miller Graphics Explorer. If you ever want to see the bits and bytes behind this machine under the hood, that's the tool to use to see what's going on. We're going to exit this again. M, printer utilities. How many people have a printer hooked up to their TI? Catalog library with Okidata. C, cat library with Epson. D, printer setup. Well, we don't have a printer setup, but N for science. This must be an Italian. Law. Physical fitness. We've demoed the TI physical fitness before, where they have a stick figure. Statistics. Must be Italian and then English. TI Tyler. Weight and nutrition. For science, O, system check. B, diagnostic tests. We could try running that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your set. It's supposed to look like this. 1 for automatic test, for checkerboard test. So I guess this is running the video through its paces. 2 for keyboard test. This is one of those nice ones where
Will it tell you if the problem exists between the keyboard and chair?
I'm just going across the keyboard left to right. Slash A S D F G H J K L semicolon the enter key. Doesn't do anything with the shift key, but it did Z. Doesn't do anything with the control. Doesn't do anything with space or a function. But yeah. You can press enter again to get out of that. 3, your RAM test. 4 for your video test. Yeah, so this is a nice utilities program to run through your console. You see a lot of people online going, they've got a console, they can't test it, or they just got one, how do they test it? And so this diagnostics program would be good for letting you find out if your console's good. 2 for multicolor test. Now the multicolor mode is a 4x4 pixel display that's used very rarely on the TI because usually it's the 8x8 character graphics display. I believe the first popular instance of this multicolor mode was in the maze game Rock Runner to get the diamond crystals to glow. So this looks like it's working good. And 3 for multi-mode. Okay, we're going to do a sound test. Decreasing volumes. And it loops it. Okay, number 6 is a calculation test. It says it's doing all these tests, and that's the best news you can get. No error has been detected. Cassette test, we don't have a cassette. I don't have a handset. I wonder what a maintenance test is. Okay, well, I better leave this the heck alone.
Yeah, I wonder if it does something.
Yeah.
If you have an oscilloscope attached to the right test points or something.
And text editors. Okay, this text editor I wanted to get to because somebody on Facebook was talking about they were trying to convert mini writer to a bin file, and it's here. So I'll select D and option B for mini writer, and so there's the Datibiotics mini writer. And I don't have the manual, so I don't know how to write this, but I'm going to have to post this to whatever Facebook page that was where somebody was having trouble with the bin file. I think he was trying to run it in an emulator. And seeing how Mr. Vittori probably did run all these on an emulator, looks like it was done already. So that's just item B, the Vittori collection on my files. And then C is cartridge. These are only, these don't have grams. These are only the, .binc in the file name. So this is all the third-party stuff. A lot of these John Phillips did on, they're available for the TI. Database Manager, Defender, DigDug. Yeah, sometimes the same game shows up more than once because in the collection there was more than one file. Files with different names, but they show up the same name here. But let's go back. Item L, duplicate disks. I'm not interested in running that at the time. Okay, Super Duper by Navarone Industries. I've already got these 2 disks loaded off the Nano onto drive 1 and drive 2, so I don't really want to edit those. But we were in option C. So yeah, all these libraries, it gets to the point where I have to have a loose leaf binder and go through everything and figure out what it is I have. Micro Pinball, Ms. Pac-Man, Munchman, Pac-Man, Paint and Print, Picnic Paranoia, Pole Position, Princess and Frog. QRNS, our old friend, Stargazer 123. When Datibiotics released that, was going to be on 3 different cartridges. But they figured out how they could do bank switching and put 3 EEPROMs in one cartridge and switch between them. Star Runner, Strike 3, Superstorm Tennis, verified discs, and Video Vegas. So here we'll just go back to a higher level, press A. Now we get into the files with the G on the cartridge name. These are either Texas Instruments cartridges, or it's stuff that was licensed by Texas Instrument to have a GROM in it. There were only 1 or 2 vendors that did that. English Grammar, The Attack. Demonstration there, that's the TI Demonstrations cartridge that they would have running. Okay, we'll go to E. Budget Management, Calico, cassette programs, the French version of Hunt the Wampus. My German's poor. I wish Hal was here for option G. ET at Sea. That's our old buddy, the little ET creature, has to navigate the world. And this doesn't look like it's working. But sometimes you have to exit and then go in from the main cartridge. No, that's not working. Shame. ET at Sea was fun.
No ET.
Early learning, early reading, Facemaker, football. Yeah, so there's a ton of stuff in here. Again, all these Millikins, I wish I could edit the file so I know what the heck it is. Because it shows up here. I'm sure in the emulator it shows up as what the program is. There's Peter Pan again, physical fitness. Wampus Jagged, another Hunt the Wampus. Press A to go back. And F, which is the 4th of these cartridge ending with a G. Star May, Star Trek, Starship Pegasus. Wing War. So some of these files are a little scrambled, and there's just so much here. I haven't bothered trying to straighten them out much. Once I downloaded them and got them onto the final GROM. Let's try S. So this is called a lines program. It's not quite the one I was thinking of, but it's a nice demonstration. Again, this isn't a game. This is all it does. Just demonstrates what it's doing. And it shows up on your main menu. Clear it. Demo TI. Animation, scroller, demo. The demo, I think, is... Let's see which one it is. Okay, this is our old friend, the Don't Mess with Texas demo.
Welcome to this new demonstration I desired. Please sit back and enjoy the show.
Okay, we're going to stop that demonstration at that point because that was option G, demonstration in TI. We're going to go to H, demonstration in F18. And this is some stuff that can run in an F18 versus a TI with a regular 40-column screen. Another demonstration from New Year's Day some years ago. So let's see now, M. I was thrashing around with the GEM project, and it turned out I had a bad program, and I was going back and forth with the guys on CTIUG, like, why can't I get GEM to work? And it turned out it was on my end. Now this is the games that are separate indexed by the first letter in the alphabetical name. And so that's option Q, where they're all by alphabetical name. And so I compiled those a little bit, like here, R, games A to M. Because we have more than one page here on the final GROM. We have 7 pages. So here, for a flyer to Bigfoot, blackjack to Wampus, checkers to Dragonflyer, page 5, page 6, page 7. Have to go back using the comma key to get to A, to go back up again. And then option S, games N to Z. Nature's Way to Protect Her. Okay, this is a collection of the GEM project. The Graphics Environment Manager. Here's DM1000 again. Extended Basic version 2.8. Text 40 column, text 80 column, The Missing Link, Graphic Adventure. XB 2.8 plus XXB and XB 256. All fine programs. B, hacks. Centipede Defender Parsec. I don't know why these would be called hacks. C, homebrew. Okay, these were all fine games that people did. You probably recognize some of them, like Bouncy, Flying Shark, Flappy Bird, Jet Set Willy, which is supposed to be like one of the most difficult games to master. Roadhunter, Saberwolf, Skyway, Super Mario Brothers demo, TI Scramble. The Scramble was fun.
Ready to start?
Because you get blown up a lot. You can move back and forwards across the screen, go up and down, get blown up a lot. I have a little lag on the system with this video modulator going through the PC for you folks to see. D, MBX. Okay, here's all the MBX system games. Bigfoot, Honey Hunt, Meteor Belt. The PHM ones, I think they're the baseball ones, which will not run without the MBX system. E was new files. Disk Manager 1000. Disk repair. I've blown a couple disks where Sector 0 or whatever, Sector 1 gets damaged, the actual catalog sector. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to have something like that that lets you repair that. Going through E, Atari Age. Gives you what appears to be a conventional menu here of games and such. We got some unusual things like Alpiner, M, Camelot, O for Caverns, King of the Castle, Mr. Chin. How many of you remember Mr. Chin from the Chicago Fair, 2008? This is based on I think
Is this a Mr. Do-like game? No.
because you have the Oriental gentleman, and he has to go pick up a plate,
Spinning plates, huh?
put it on top of the post, set it spinning, and you only got so much time to do this. And you got that joker rolls plates at you. Like that.
Yeah.
So it's operate the joystick to have him pick up the plate, press the fire button, joystick up. Okay, now you can get to the second level. You're probably wondering how you're going to get there. Oh, now he's throwing knives. Thanks. Yeah, I remember people went nuts when this was demonstrated at the fair, because I think this is a like a Commodore game, or I forget what platform this was originally
I
on.
don't really recall what original platform this was implemented on.
Okay, I
You
took
lost
too
the
long
bottom, it looks like.
to
You have to go back down and reset that plate to win.
yeah.
At least it was one of the first plates you placed, so
Yeah.
hopefully you can
Just ate a scimitar.
correct that before another one falls.
There we go. And he does a polite bow. And you get an extra player. So yeah, Mr. Chin. I just enjoyed playing that. So we're going to try to go to Q for games. The second menu. C for letter T. And Q for Tris. There's been some talk online about the Tris game and variations of it. So here's the manual by Jim Reese, distributed by Asgard Software. Explains how to play the game. You S and D key, you rotate by pressing the space bar. You drop a piece by pressing enter, and you can pause the game. So that's rather nice.
Pause the game? Why would you want to do that?
Yeah. I burned a lot of midnight oil with this one. There's Tris, Tetris 2, there's TI-Tris. We're going to go with level 0, height 0. Preview, yes. I like to see what piece is coming next. No alternate keys, no reverse twists, no mutant blocks. And so, as you know, space bar. You know how this one works is anytime you get a solid line of objects across the screen, they disappear. Like that one did. So Tris is fun to play. We'll quit that. And let me look at my notes here. Go back to the final GROM. Option S for games N to Z. The fourth screen. And option P, Tetris 2. So this might be something you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
You can play music. Level 0. Okay. There we go. Joystick. The button rotates the piece. Holding the joystick down. Drops it. Joystick up, rotates it. Gets confusing when you have go from game to game and you got different controls. There you go. There you go. So this is another version of Tetris that I hadn't seen before. It was Tetris 2. Meanwhile, we have option S games times 4, 2, 3, 4. Was it 4? Letter P. Tetris 2. No, it was Tetris 2. Option 5, letter I, Tris. And yeah, this is the same game that we played before, so it's in multiple spots. I'll go through my notes. Okay, I have to look up a file. Oh. And that's not easily available, so we'll just skip that for now. But yeah, I would have liked to have found TIUG. However, it's a disk file and I haven't changed it over.
So apparently, we've got someone in chat, Ricky Barron, who says that that was the Tetris game that their son and they created.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's interesting. As I remember, like yesterday, that Chicago Fair I went to, and when I bought it, they'd only had so many copies of it. Okay, this one's called Super Disk Manager, and rather than it looks a lot like the TI Disk Manager 2 cartridge, but this lets you go up to disk number 4. Something that you can't easily do with the TI disk controller. Yeah, and that was called Super Disk Manager. So who was that again? Whose son wrote it?
Someone by the name of Ricky Barron.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, well, that's when we heard the.
I
This
guess
is
they had help with or from SW99ers. Is that Southwest 99ers or?
that sounds about right. Yes. The let me get back here. Yeah, I remember when that came out. When Tetris came out, people went, "Oh wow, a video game from Russia." We thought it was going to be like a MiG flight simulator or something like that, and instead it was a completely new game mechanism. It was its own critter, and it spawned quite a few offshoots.
Richard Gilbertson says that he made a version of Disk Manager 4 supporting up to 9 disks and worked with RAM disks also from A to Z. Does that mean someone needs to make a Disk Manager 2000 that can address 2000 disks?
Yeah.
Or maybe Disk Manager 2022.
Okay. Here's the option. Here, this looks like fun. TI Pong. Oh, by Francisco Uga. Yeah, he did TI Rex. He did the Mars Attack game.
Yeah, you've demoed a number of games from him. I think if people go back through our video archive, they can find a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. TI Pong. Okay, I'm sure if there were 2 people here. Because I have the video lag here, I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Oh, hang on, I gotta reset the final ground.
Between your console and your display. And
Mm-hmm. But where was I at? Was that F? New game? Okay, this are new games. Pengo Scramble, The Mummy's Tomb, Video Vegas. Option D, games, is a menu for, it looks like it takes a while, a bunch of games. So you've got this screen of games, and you got the second screen of games. So Ant Colony, Barrage, Black Hole, Boxer, Breakthrough, Burger Builder, Car Wars, Chicken Coop. Chisholm Trail, Crossfire, Driving Demon, D Station 1 and 2, Escape, Face Chase. Escape, I think it's the same as King of the Castle and another collection. Football, Frog Stickers, Hen House, Lasso. Lobster Bay's a lot of fun. You're a scuba diver or a snorkeler trying to harvest lobsters. And boy, I've never had such a hard time doing that. Munchman 2. Someday I'll pick up all the different collections and variations of Munchman. I think I actually picked up prototypes of Munchman. They're slightly different from each other. Nibbler, Pinball Princess and Frog, Rotor Raiders, Shanghai Solitaire, Spies Demise, the elevator game, St. Nick's. Santa Claus has to pick up the all the gifts that are strewn around his workshop. Stargazer 1, 2, and 3, Star Trek, Star Wars, The Attack Topper, and Triss. Okay, that's the same game we had before. I sure wish I could find TI Triss. I was digging around for it earlier, and I couldn't find my copy of it I had. I went like, doggone it, I remember when I bought that. So what else is a fun one here? Lasso. I think the Italian gentleman on the Italian user group had demonstrated Lasso not long ago. T is fun. I bet we have to pick up this key here. Sort of fun that you've got
Ladders and platforms.
underwater.
Yeah.
I guess you can't harvest a lobster.
The lobster is your
Nemesis.
antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Giant clam.
Isn't there a B-52 song about that? Lots of troubles, lots of bubbles. He was in a jam and a giant clam. Oh my God, I don't. What's this lobster doing? Is he chasing me?
Very talented lobster. Can climb ladders.
Yeah.
Underwater escalator. Is that what that is?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, you follow the arrow. Go up to the treasure chest. I can't go down until... What's that lobster up to? Ah! I've had a lot of fun with lobster bait. So we were able to cover a variety of subjects here on the final Grom, the different libraries. Yeah. Oh, okay. We can run Play-Doh. There are
Oh,
Plato
interesting.
things here that are standalone programs, like this one, plant genetics. I don't know why it was listed under Plato. What is genetics? Well, okay, press. Oh, it talks. Together we're going to learn some things about plants. Press enter. Let's start with a question. If you want to grow an apple tree, what kind of seeds would you plant? Apple seeds, orange seeds, or peach seeds? Sure, that was easy, but have you ever asked why? Nature children, also called offspring, tend to look like their parents. Apple trees grow apples, rose bushes grow roses. This is called heredity. The study of heredity is called genetics.
Heredity.
And it talks. Press enter or aid. Let's try aid.
Heredity.
Oh, it repeats it.
Genetics.
See if you remember what you've learned so far. On the next screen, you will see 3 definitions. When a word appears in the box at the bottom, press the numbers of the definition it matches. Match the word to its definition. 1, the study of plants. 2, why offspring look like their parents. 3, the study of heredity. That'd be 3. No? Botany is 1. Okay. An apple seed contains all the information it needs to become an apple. How tall to grow, what kind of leaves to grow, what kind of fruit to bear. How does the apple seed know these things? The apple seed's offspring of the apple tree. Every offspring is born with 2 sets of information. 1 set of info from each parent. These sets of information are called traits.
Traits.
The 2 traits that an offspring receives are not always the same. If one trait is stronger than the other, the offspring shows only the stronger trait. Yeah, you got your lowercase a, uppercase a, lowercase b, uppercase b. Stronger traits called dominant.
Excuse me, Papa.
Yeah.
Did you feed Fred?
No. The weaker trait is called recessive. Okay. So we can go through that again. That was option G, Plato, plant genetics, and G, make a sentence. You know, it was a few years ago I had the Plato cartridge, and I had recompiled the entire Plato library onto a compact flash card for the Nano, and we were able to go through various Plato discs and had a lot of fun with that. So this is running without the Plato cartridge. It's its own bin file. Type a letter to choose a desired option. Locate the words with pictures. Locate the words without pictures. Type the words with pictures. Type the words without pictures. I better just go with locating a word. Make a sentence. The girl walks end sentence with a period. Do not understand. Okay.
Too many objects. I think it wants a simple sentence.
I was trying to make a simple sentence there. The girl walks. Okay. I don't see how you ride a bicycle or jump a house, but we'll try that next.
As I recall, there are actual animation sequences for some of those, no matter how absurd they are.
Yeah, that's in the, I believe it's called Story Machine. And it's crashed. Okay, so this is not perfect.
Hmm.
Well, if we got to reset it every time we go to do it.
Yeah. Oh well. Maybe do one more thing, one more sentence, and move on.
The house jumps. Sorry, house is not allowed. Oh.
Oh, this one has has some limitations. Ooh, very pretty.
Yeah, a Story Machine. I wonder if I got that. Don't we have that somewhere?
Yeah, I thought we demoed that once before, and it has sort of the animations for sort of the absurd combinations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there it is. It's just, this is one edutainment that you really need the manual for to know what words you can use. Hello, I am the Story Machine. I'll help you write stories and show them on the screen. Because I'm just a machine, I only understand certain words and ideas. Give me a try. Okay, let's try aid, which is function 7. Oh, pronouns. His, her, it's, their, them. Okay. So this is what you have to. This is one of those where you got to do the function 7 aid and write down all the different words that you're allowed to use.
Mm.
So yeah, this is the one where you've got the absurd combinations. Things that don't usually move.
Yeah, we'll animate it as directed.
You can see how it's goes in alphabetical order through every letter in the alphabet to create the words. Interesting on the programming technique on this. I remember early computer-oriented TV shows where people had to break a password, and you saw it doing that on the screen. You know, as they tried to guess each letter or number one at a time.
Yeah.
So it does the noun, verb. Well, she does jump. Start a new story. Restage your story. Load a new story to see a random story. Okay. The dog runs to the tree. Yeah, so I think if you had a list of the words and you wrote them down or printed them out,
Right.
then kids, they have a lot of fun doing this. They say, oh, they got the limited animation here. It doesn't have a plane. Now the fence hops to. Oh wait, it's got little legs on it.
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh, it's just too absurd. So, I mean, it can't be any worse than a random story. Some girls walk by those stores.
Richard Gilbertson says the store fell on the tree.
Really?
I guess fell is not a
I don't have fell or fall. Yeah, let's do a function 7. You only use words in the list on the next page. If you type 8, I'll pick a letter. Back or quit lets you tell me what to do next.
So fell or falls, so you can't do the house falls on a witch.
Pronouns: his, her, its, their, he. Verbs: is, are, dance, eat, fly, flies. Zot. Sing and zot. Near and to.
So now we have the suggestion of the store jumped on the tree or on tree.
I suppose that's like a laser beam. So that's the fence flying. Okay. Yeah, charming game for education. You only got so many yeah, so for demos, F18 demos. Yeah, for the TI demos, say like these copper bars, letter H. This is in TI graphics mode. And then we have H, demos F18, and we have copper bars, letter G. And you can see the higher resolution. And here's an interesting artifact, is that the colors have gotten remapped.
Yeah.
And so now we got this artifact of these goofy colors on the screen, unless I turn the
Sort of color
console off. And,
bars.
yeah.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Yeah. So that's actually about all I have for this month. I think I got through about 98% of all the different programs I wanted to show, and resolved a few issues that some people may have had with, oh my gosh, hang on. Can't have
Your flag was not quite right. Huh?
no.
Oh, is it red, white, and black?
Yeah, we're not trying to pursue any kind of political agenda here or anything, just being patriotic. There we go. I'll get this right yet. Yeah, some of these days, one of these days, I'm going to rewrite this program for a correct 50-star flag. And probably by that time, we'll have another state in the Union. So,
At the rate we're going, no, I shouldn't say such things.
maybe we'll have less states.
Yeah, that was my concern.
Well, I have this sign-off program, and I have the other sign-off program that plays the Stars and Stripes Forever by John Philip Sousa. And it's nice, but the music doesn't match up. So next month we'll probably have our meeting on the second Saturday.
The 14th?
Yeah, which would be the 14th.
May 14th, 2022.
That's all. I hope everybody had as much fun as I have. Bye.